They just rewrote the entire WrestleMania 42 card and nobody told you. Like and subscribe right now. You already know this channel doesn't play games, and what WWE just did behind closed doors is going to make your blood boil. John Cena is back. The Rock is being inserted into Night 2, and Tiffany Stratton, a woman who was being positioned as the face of the women's division heading into the biggest show of the year, has been scrapped. Not sidestepped, not postponed, scrapped. So before you scroll past this video thinking it's just another rumor roundup, understand this: what we're about to break down changes everything you thought you knew about WrestleMania 42. Let's start with John Cena, because this is the story that WWE wants you to celebrate while they quietly slip something past you. John Cena has been announced as the host of WrestleMania 42. Now, on the surface, that sounds great. The greatest part-timer in WWE history, a living legend, a man who sold out arenas for 2 decades, coming back to stand on the grandest stage of them all. But here's what nobody is saying out loud: this is not the John Cena return people were begging for. Fans wanted one last match. Fans wanted a farewell moment inside the ring, not a microphone stand and a suit. WWE took one of the most emotionally loaded returns in recent memory and turned it into a hosting gig. That's not a return, that's a PR move. And the fact that they are dressing it up like some massive gift to the WWE universe is honestly insulting. Now don't get me wrong, having Cena at WrestleMania adds star power. It adds nostalgia. It adds the kind of mainstream visibility that WWE's television deal partners love. But when you think about what a John Cena in-ring return would have meant to the story of WrestleMania 42, the potential that was sitting right there on the table, and WWE's creative team chose to make him a host, you have to ask the real question. Is this Cena's choice? Or was this a creative decision made above his head? Because there is a massive difference between John Cena gracefully stepping into an ambassador role on his own terms and WWE quietly burying the idea of a final match because they couldn't figure out who to put him against. That answer matters. And right now, we don't have it clearly. John Cena has won the WWE Championship a record number of times. How many times has he held the title? Drop your answer below. But now, The Rock. Because this is where things get really interesting and honestly, a little chaotic. There are now 3 major fan theories circulating about The Rock's involvement at WrestleMania 42, and the newest one, the one that has the internet on fire right now, directly ties The Rock into the Roman Reigns vs CM Punk storyline on Night 2. Think about that for a second. If The Rock inserts himself into the Roman Reigns and CM Punk narrative on the second night of WrestleMania, you are looking at a potential situation where the most important match on the card gets hijacked by Hollywood's biggest star. And depending on how you look at it, that either makes Night 2 the most unpredictable and explosive WrestleMania moment in years, or it destroys the integrity of a Roman Reigns and CM Punk match that has been building for months. Here's the thing about The Rock at WrestleMania 42. The man doesn't show up to be background noise. Every time Dwayne Johnson walks through that curtain, the camera gravitates toward him. The crowd loses their mind. The story shifts. And if WWE is genuinely planning to use The Rock as a wild card on Night 2, then every piece of careful storytelling they've done around Roman Reigns, the OG bloodline, and CM Punk's hunt for revenge has to accommodate the Great One's ego, schedule, and creative demands. That is an enormous variable to introduce into an already layered and emotionally invested storyline. The fans who have been following the Roman Reigns saga from the Tribal Chief era, through Solo Siko's power grab, through the OG Bloodline reunion, those fans deserve a WrestleMania Night 2 main event that pays off years of storytelling. They don't deserve a surprise Rock cameo that steals the thunder from a finish that Roman and Punk have both earned. And yes, there is absolutely a world where The Rock's involvement elevates everything, where his appearance triggers something massive, where it serves the story rather than overriding it. But given WWE's recent history of last-minute creative pivots and Hollywood-driven booking decisions, forgive the audience for being nervous. Because we've seen what happens when The Rock's involvement takes precedence over the actual planned narrative. We watched it happen before WrestleMania 40, and it nearly derailed one of the most anticipated matches in modern WWE history before they course-corrected. So the question isn't whether The Rock can add value. The question is whether WWE has learned how to use him without breaking everything else in the process. The Rock and John Cena famously headlined 2 consecutive WrestleManias together. Which WrestleMania numbers were those? Tell me in the comments. Now let's talk about Tiffany Stratton. Because out of everything in this story, the Tiffany Stratton situation might be the one that deserves the most outrage. This woman has been on one of the most impressive momentum runs in the women's division in recent memory. She has the look, the athleticism, the character work, and the championship pedigree to be a legitimate WrestleMania main event performer on the women's side of the card. And now she's been scrapped from her planned WrestleMania 42 role. Let that sit with you. In an era where WWE keeps telling us that the women's division is a priority, that they are committed to giving female superstars equal billing on the grandest stage, they just yanked Tiffany Stratton from a WrestleMania role that she had reportedly been building toward 4 weeks. Why? What happened? Is this a creative pivot because someone else's deal came through? Is this an injury concern? Is this about television time being redistributed to accommodate John Cena's hosting segments and a potential Rock appearance? Because every minute of WrestleMania 42 screen time that gets handed to celebrity involvement is a minute taken away from superstars like Tiffany Stratton who have put in the work on weekly television to earn their spot. And the women's division cannot afford another WrestleMania where its biggest names get bumped to the pre-show or squeezed into 6-minute matches because the card got too bloated with nostalgia acts. Tiffany Stratton deserved better, and if you're a fan of hers, you should be furious right now. You should be in the comments telling WWE exactly what you think about this decision, because the only way this changes is if the audience makes enough noise that it becomes impossible to ignore. WWE listens to revenue. WWE listens to ratings. And WWE absolutely listens when the internet explodes with frustration over a decision that feels creatively backward and disrespectful to one of their most exciting young stars. So here's where WrestleMania 42 stands right now from everything available. You have John Cena back, but not in the way anyone truly wanted. You have The Rock potentially crashing night 2, which could either be the greatest surprise of the year or the most damaging creative decision WWE makes in 2026. And you have Tiffany Stratton, one of the most over female superstars on the entire roster, sitting on the outside looking in at a WrestleMania card that should have had her name on it in big bold letters. WrestleMania is supposed to be the culmination of everything. The night where every story pays off. The night where every superstar who grinded through house shows, television tapings, and months of storytelling finally gets their moment under those lights. And right now, it feels like 2026's version of WrestleMania is shaping up to be another event where the needs of Hollywood relationships and nostalgia bookings outweigh the demands of long-form professional wrestling storytelling. If that's what WWE is delivering, they need to hear from us. Share this video. Send it to every wrestling fan you know. Drop your thoughts in the comments below because this conversation needs to be loud enough for WWE headquarters to feel it.